Probably, she probably has maybe winter vacation.
No, not then.
Which
Yes.
school is his wife?
She's still in
Which
Oro,
school?
well, it's called that, what is it called? They changed the name. I forgot the name.
But still.
Yesodot.
Sounds
Oh, that's Yesodot on Avenue Y now? I mean,
Yeah,
is Yesodot, somebody just told me that on Avenue Y.
Rabbi Yudi changed the name of the school. Of
You mean
boys
this
and girls.
this is the school that was on the muscle?
Yes,
But they moved.
and Rabbi David Cohen also gave
Right.
sold the school to him.
But they used to be on Avenue P.
Rabbi didn't even sell the school. What?
used to be on
No, the girls' school is on Avenue N and Coney.
Avenue N.
Maybe it's another Yesodot. I don't know.
I guess so.
There's a boys' school, so I don't. They're both named. I think they're both named the same. Not
Yeah.
sure.
It's a dot, it's a nice name. Welcome back, Jack.
Thank you.
Oh, Jack, welcome back. Yeah.
Thank you.
From Far East, where did you go to Egypt?
No, just Florida.
Florida.
Too short.
Yeah. Especially with the weather that's coming. in.
Normally you stay with
Okay,
your parents'
okay.
apartment, you stay with your parents' apartment.
No, I stay, there's a hotel close by, but they're not there, but it's just easier than opening it and closing.
Okay, we are page 366.
Yeah, your father keeps complaining.
I think he's got to go to Florida.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get
your mother
him.
won't let him
My
go.
mother doesn't
Mother
wanna
still
go.
won't let him go.
She doesn't
Yeah.
want-
Wow.
During COVID, the father-in-law of my oldest son took a private driver, he and his wife, an event to make sure that during COVID, they said to him,
Wow.
it's only a question of money. I mean, but if it's really essential for your parents, if you hire a driver, of course, obviously money. But,
You don't wanna go. She doesn't wanna go.
yeah, he doesn't want it.
My mother doesn't wanna go, my father's taught.
She's probably worried.
There's less and less people, there's less and less friends every year.
Oh, Hashem's
Right, so the building is like empty of their friends. That's why.
Just to be in the sun.
And then they don't sit in the sun, but it's nice to be there. But then if they don't, one of them doesn't feel well, like last few years, me, my brother, my sister kept rushing down there. They're afraid to be alone. It's like they got too old for it.
Yeah, that happens. The biggest complaint is that all our
They've
friends.
been there 30 years.
Friends are
Oh,
not around.
My father says, I've never been here this time of year in like 25 years. I don't even.
You forgot how New York looks in the winter.
So, it's a combination of things that they decide.
325 Avenue Y. I'm just wondering what that is.
It could be. I'm not sure. Not 100% sure.
The Parashat Beshalach, begins in a very Parashat Beshalach begins in a very unusual way. Finally, you have the Art Scroll Chumash in front of you.
I think he's in the shul.
I just saw his face. ולא נחם אלוהים דרך ארץ פלישתים, כי קרוב, which means the right way to go to Israel is a very, very short one.
I assume that's through Gaza.
More or less.
Yes, we're going straight. Yeah,
כי קרוב, אז כי קרוב means even though,
it's the closest way.
כי אמר אלוהים, ולנחם העם בראותה מלחמה ושבו מצרים. Hashem knows the raw personality of the slave. Don't see any interference. But since when Hashem has to give me an excuse? It's the only time in the Torah that the Torah is a penalty. The parasha begins with Hashem is telling us, you know why I didn't do it? Because says Rabbi Rucham Meir, of course, only he can say it. Hashem is teaching us a lesson for life. Very often we have questions. Believe me, Hashem says, I have an explanation. Here, I'm just revealing to you.
Do you think that this Eretz Kedusha here that they're talking about is in Eretz Israel?
That's
Because
definitely.
it says Derech Eretz Kedusha, on the way. So the front of Derech.
Derech Eretz, Derech, you need them too.
True, but
Eretz Palestine. So remember the way we just, you Jack, being Memare Makom of Rani, read the first pasuk in English.
It
happened.
It happened when Paro sent out the people that Hashem did not lead them by way of the land of the Philistines because it was near. So Hashem said, perhaps the people will reconsider when they see a war,
right.
and they will return to Egypt.
You see, Aristotle always, I mean, this is the Chokhmah, if the rabbi would translate it, because it was near. It was because it was near, even though it was near. But Be'emet, the Midrash says about Pele. Pele, I mean.
Because should have been real.
Even though.
This
is the Be'emet Pshat, the David.
I always thought maybe because of the breach between Abraham and
Okay, you're close to the Midrash, but look about Pele. Look a second in Parashat Vayechi, at the funeral of Yaakov Avinu, yes? Remember, a big procession is coming from Egypt. And then the Pasuk, openly says,
they did a funny route when they took Yaakov. They went in from Jordan, it seems, across the Jordan River from the east.
Look a second. Look at page 286. Pasuk 11. Vayar, Pasuk 286:11. Vayar Yoshev haaretz HaKenaani. At Ha'evel b'Goren Ha'atar. The Egyptians are really, this is not only the Jews, but Yomru Evel Kaved Zer Mitzrayim. And the Midrash really says that they participated here. Says the Midrash here in Bashalach Semi, Ki Karovu, we did not reward the Egyptians enough. I'm sorry, the Knaanim. So it's not time to evict them from the country. So Ki Karovu, the kavod that you gave Yaakov Avinu, and because of that you deserve to still be in the land, Karovu. I mean, in the Pshat, it's very good. But Lo Nacham Elohim Derech Eretz Plishtim. You know why? Ki Karovu. The Egyptians, I mean, the Knaanim,
they're not ready to be thrown out. They didn't do it
Karovu
enough.
means the mitzvah, I mean, the kavod that you gave to Yaakov. Karovu.
Still,
You know what Karov, David, how many years this is?
10 years ago.
200 years.
At least 200.
I mean, the point of this Midrash is to show you, Bayas' favor is a question of an hour or a day or maybe a week.
So David's question is good. If Deda Pishim is the right way, why would they go this way?
So the Torah tells you.
No, Yaakov. Why did they go this way?
I don't know. We have to go back to. I know.
Point also that
David, you do know that the Midrash says that many armies wanted to attack the Jews. So the route that they picked was the easiest one. Did you ever think about it? Why is Yosef taking Rechem and Parashim, take commandos and tanks? Because he is afraid. So the route that he picked, remember, for strangers, the Jews and the Egyptians are descending on Canaan, is it? So יכול להיות, this you have to look into. יכול להיות שזה אחד הסיבות.
The guys there were too fierce. Yeah.
So I guess was even it wasn't just that the land was given to them, the 7 nations had to do enough bad for them to be evicted from the land.
What you're saying is later the pasuk, כי לא שמם עוון האמורי.
Right.
What you're saying is written in Sefer Dvarim. This is later when they are already coming into to Israel. How come they did not kill them right away? I mean, remember, it's lovely to think that Israel is ours, but the pasuk is always saying, remember, you have Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, and the people who are the inhabitants of Canaan are evicted when they reach. המילה כי קרוב זה פסוק קשה מאוד. You have to learn, you see, the article is very careful the way you do it.
The Pshat doesn't work so well because look, Hashem brought Rechev Mitzrayim. A week later, he brought Rechev Mitzrayim. They were afraid. They were afraid for their lives. So look, I'll do a miracle. It's not so hard for Hashem to. So a different answer is good. I don't know about
But the
that
Chokhmah,
answer.
but the Chokhmah in all these miracles is that the one that receives it internalizes what he got and he changes it. I mean, a miracle is like a lightning in a dark forest. Okay, beautiful, everyone likes to talk, everybody, every community has class. Did you see this video? So what did the video tell you? Rabbi Shneur Kotler, the son of Rabbi Kotler, used to tell over as follows. When he was a teenager in Europe, before the war, he heard from many friends that if you go to Shabbat to Hasidei Shloim better, even today, very sincere, they an amazing Shabbat. And to come to his father is very far from Hasidut as we are from Mars. The father says, if you really feel like going, Halach with a group of friends, he comes back to you.
His son.
his son, רב שניאור, מספר על עצמו.
על עצמו, his son.
Well, no, first of all, they gave my son, I would let him go. Allah, he says, Abba, I never had such a, so kids come from seminar, he never had such a good experience. He says, he realized it's Hasidim after all. So his father says to him, if the Sunday after that Shabbat, you are different, then the Shabbat was something. Otherwise, clue. He never forgot this lesson, he never understood it in the time. And then I said,
Did it stick?
no, which means you
Otherwise,
take. Okay, a good time is a right word. A good time, an amazing time. Everyone likes to have an inspirational time. Every time my grandson comes to me and Purim, different grandson every year. So about drinking more, if the day after Purim, you feel that your shachrit is a better shachrit, and you learn better, and you do chesed, then you can drink a little more. Otherwise, man, looking for an excuse to use alcohol, man, it's still again. No, it's the people don't realize it. Teenagers are teenagers, and
this pasuk is very interesting. How much longer is it the Derech Canaan? 3 days longer?
no, but Kama Yamim. But you have to realize you're dealing with the spirit. I have a book.
No, in other words, the Amud Ayesh, if the Amud Anan doesn't move, it's 2 weeks later.
I have a book written by a fellow who, interesting, he was born in Germany. As the Holocaust began, if you know the history, they took hundreds of Jewish kids and shipped them to England. This is how we survived.
Kinder
transport. This is how we survived. Anyway, he was a real religious Zionist, but really religious, not he went to the army, but he is meantime, remember, he's a Yaakov by nature, which means anything that goes wrong should not be there. He looks at the kids, and he was trained to be a special tracer. Anyway, he calls Rav Goren at that time. He says, "Ani ish dati me'emet, hamizbach lo."
England.
No. This is already in the Israeli army in the 50s.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, if you know Rav Goren by himself comes to the army camp. He made noise and he reprimanded the commander. Okay, obviously they had to change it. The commander says to him, Joseph, what you did is legal, but how can you do it behind my a general is rebuking me, everyone talks about me. Listen to this. The punishment is, it says, by the end of the course, remember this was a very special course, everyone took a flight into enemy territory. And they were preparing for months and months for this trip. You're not going to be there, even though you're trained months and months. He says, I'm the commander. Here I have to say right. He says, here the day comes and I'm standing in the airport and all my friends are on the plane and I'm alone. The plane never came back.
Oh my gosh.
So this is what he writes.
Wow.
So he said, you have no idea how much agony I had at that day. Yeah, I trained for months and months. This was, a real spine. No, this is why he wrote the book. The book is not, it's not the Torah, but mainly his life experience. And you remember, Hashem is giving us the excuse. You know why he didn't take it to Israel right away? Because of Hashem listen to me. I have a big picture, yes. And the big picture, we know that Sefer Bamidbar doesn't stop. The Jews complaining at every opportunity. In this week's parasha, water, man, meat. We just came out of Egypt. Don't you think someone is taking care of you?
Okay, but
Hashem
if Hashem didn't write this pasuk, I wouldn't have questioned why'd you go there.
But why did he write it?
Hashem had a plan, but who might question? I don't know. Okay.
I read.
Who's he explaining to?
I read the biography written by American chaplain, World War I. He writes that in one of the camps that were liberated, he saw a man that looked like a distinguished man. It happened to be Rab Guzman. So he came to him and says, listen, I have some extra bread. So he says to him, after the war, you're telling me you have extra bread? Look for the sick and the needy. I'm fine. כותב בספר, לא יכולתי לישון that night. Bread was gold. You know, gold. Was cooking in Yiddish. I said, what do you look at me? I look good. Bread. The way you look on life. Okay, anyway. משה, ויקח משה את עצמות יוסף עמו, כי השביע את בני ישראל לאמור, פקוד יפקוד אלוהים אתכם, ועליתם את עצמותיי מזה איתכם. Everyone knows the story. The Midrash, the Midrash, and this pasuk says like this. There's a pasuk in Sefer Kohelet, Chacham lev yikach v'spot. Says the Midrash, זה משה. When all the Jewish people are busy taking the money from Bizat Mitzrayim, Moshe goes to identify, to locate Atzmot Yosef. Chacham Lev. What is the Chacham Lev? The Chacham Lev is the people who are taking money are fulfilling the mitzvah also. But they're fulfilling the mitzvah and filling up the pockets.
That's satisfying.
Moshe could have done the same mitzvah.
So all Bnei Israel had money, Moshe was broke?
עכשיו תשמע דבר יפה.
Rabbi,
Yes.
Rabbi, wasn't Moshe doing kaparat avonot for Shevet Levi? He was basically had in a way an obligation to take care of Yosef.
They say, תשמע טוב, what they really say, some commentators say, that Shevet Levi had no right to take the money.
They didn't work.
Because Shevet Levi did not walk in Egypt. So Moshe was in the same category. This is one explanation. So Moshe,
Yeah, but Rabbi, Levi and Shimon and Levi were the ones who conspired to sell Yosef.
But he felt that the Chokhmah is to realize that what the Midrash is trying to say, if you have a choice between the two, look carefully which one is your heart pushing to do the other one always. Yeah? No, because the reason why your heart.
The reason why you know.
Well, what do you say?
Do we see anywhere there's a swear on your safe like we had with Yaakov?
Yeah, he made everyone swear. Look at the pasuk here.
Yeah, see this, but what I'm saying previously. This is the first.
Please, לא היה שבועה.
Yosef. Please look at page 288. You know, the rule is like this. Every aliyah, every week, you listen to a point. There is a point, you start to look around. Yes? So this is one of these points. Send me YouTube. Look at 288.
Oh, you said that. You did. Okay. I asked him first.
I thought also.
By Yosef and Bnei Israel. No.
That was my grandfather. What do you want?
No, this is the point.
Yeah.
The point is, this is the point. everyone can say, you do it, you do it, you do it. The one,
Right,
And B'nai Yisrael.
the one that runs to do it. This is the Chacham Levi Kach Mitzvot.
Okay.
This, no, he said.
B'nai Yisrael.
No, but the Chokhmah is to
His
realize.
brothers, the
Yeah, but-
brothers.
No, but
Brothers when he knew we're not gonna be
but
alive
Sam, the
to,
Chokhmah is to realize. Sam, every
It's gonna take a man 5 years.
Sam, Moshe is a leader, Moshe is in charge of making sure that the million men and women are. The Chokhmah of the leader is to pay attention to the small. You can appoint someone to do all the right?
Chacham Lev, what is it?
Chacham Levi Kach Mitzvot. No one loves, look a second, no one loves 368. ויקח פרות עץ, ויקח 600 רכב בחור, בכל רכב מצרים, ושאנשים על כולו. 600. You remember פרשת כי תבוא, אחד ירדוף 1,000. אחד ירדוף 1,000. 600,000, הוא לוקח 600 רכב, כן? על 1,000. פרעה בטוח שהוא יודע, תשמע, look at the Rashi that we don't feel comfortable the way Rashi writes it, but Rashi writes it, of course. בכל רכב מצרים, you see? ועמהם כל שאר הרכב. Says Rashi, this is 7 days after Makat Bechorot. This is a month and a half after. ומהיכן היו הבהמות האלה? אם תאמר משל מצרים, הרי נאמר וימות כל דבר. ואם תאמר משל ישראל, maybe the Jews told them, והלא נאמר, וגם מקננו ילך עמנו, משל מי היו, תקשיב טוב, והירא את דבר השם. אם מכת ברד,
So you bring it in the house.
Moshe says, whoever brings it into the house. This selected group, I'm making it up, 20% of the Egyptians were crazy. The guy delivered 77. Those who are the ones that gave it to. Don't you realize that Makat Bechorot happened? אומר רש"י, מכאן היה רבי שמעון, says רבי שמעון בן יוחאי, כאשר שבמצרים הרוב. שומע איזה language? טוב שבנחשים לצוץ עצמכו. You talk to some of the people from Otef Aza, those who lived around, they say, before October 7, the people in Aza are the nicest people. Regular people, they have children, they suffer, they don't talk to them today. They said, our neighbors, those who we gave food to, they came every night.
Is there a lefty still? Yes.
למה? No, but
It's not logical, but it is.
Yeah, you see them sending editorials in the New York Times.
of course.
I don't read it.
Sam, but the main reason is we spoke about it. It's very difficult to admit I was wrong for them. But those people, if you become not a lefty, you admit 50 years exactly.
50 years.
You have to admit that the philosophy that we believed in, and we run the country.
Yeah.
We allocated the army to here and there because we believed that this is not a problem because they're very nice people.
You can't.
יכול להאמין מה שקרה בוושינגטון this week?
He's right. You think, B'shuvah.
If you're a leader of Israel 10 years ago, 5 years ago, could you ever dream that Hashem would make this?
No, but
The
באמת.
president would say that the president would say that they should leave Gaza. They should.
Smiling, the two of them like,
No, but-
leave Gaza.
You put in a chant then.
No, but
Give it a chance.
But you realize, basically what he's saying to the people of the world, the Arabs are your problem, not the
Right.
Israeli problem.
Yeah.
This is why the world has to reject it right away. Because he's telling them if we wanted 50 years ago, 60, we could have solved it a long time ago. The answer is we don't want the refugees to be solved.
No. Jordan refused.
Because, no, not because you don't want it.
Want Israel to
The
suffer.
people that were against Netanyahu,
No, but once
what
they're
are they gonna
affected,
say to them?
Nothing to-
huh?
Look, there's a lot of problems with him, I got it, but what are you gonna say to them?
Come,
Crazy.
look a second now. Look a second now. The Ramban says, look a second in 370. ואני הנני מחזק את לב פרעה, את לב מצרים, ויבואו אחריהם, ויקבדה בפרעה בכל חילו, וישבו בפרשה. Says the Ramban, in my opinion, says the Ramban, Paro is acting very like a crazy guy. Okay, let's say you remember the money that they borrowed and they didn't give back. You want them back, but you are, Hashem is luring them in, you realize? They kavda beparo, okay. And the pasuk is clearly describing slowly. The strong wind is moving the water from one side to another. Now look a second on 372. Rani, look a second, pasuk 22. ויבואו בני ישראל בתוך הים ביבשה. Yes? בתוך הים. As they walk in, it's wet. As they walk in, split.
Dry.
והמים להם חומה. read the pasuk in English, please, Rani, 22.
The children of Israel came within the sea on dry land, and the water was a wall for them on their right and on their left.
Very good. The water was a wall. This is written with a vav. You see? Choma in mother in Hebrew. Choma.
Wow. Wow.
Now to 374. Go to 374. The same pasuk almost.
Yep.
Pasuk 29.
Nova.
בנובה
29.
ובני ישראל הלכו ביבשה בתוך הים והמים להם חומה בליבם. Says the Midrash, a second before the Egyptians are going to have problems, Hashem, the Malach, is angry at them. הללו עובדי עבודה זרה, the Jews are much better than the Egyptians. Okay, so Hashem has to say, the Jews did it out of force, fine. Why didn't the Malach come in Egypt? Why didn't the Malach come before Makat Bekorot?
Because of Achdut.
מה קרה פה? So what Georgia says, this now the Meshech Chochmah says it. Look at the pasuk. Look at second at the psukim. It's fascinating. Look at second. Go back to 370 pasuk.
370.
370 on top pasuk yud. You'll see an open contradiction. ופרעה הקריב, ויסעו בני ישראל את עיניהם, והנה מצרים נוסע אחריהם, ויראו מאוד, ויצעקו בני ישראל לשם. This is the ideal. The next pasuk. ויאמרו אל משה, המבלי הקברים במצרים, לקחתנו למות במדבר. We should have stayed in Egypt. Egypt at this will be buried. הלוא זה הדבר אשר...
לא ראינו את זה.
מה זה? Says the Ramban is the Jewish people split. One group of the Jewish people complained. They did not complain. Other people are saying the complainers, always a complaint. Other people, like Nachshon ben Amiyadav, are ready to jump into the wood. Says the Meshech Chochmah, the minute the split took place, this is when the Mekatreg has the right to come and tell Hashem. But guys, we know it, we heard it a million times, but here it's the text. Okay?
But where did we see that in Mitzrayim they told Chadal Mimenu Na'avdal?
Okay, look at it.
And it's not even, they don't know they're going to the Midbar. This pasuk is...
The real answer, Baruch Hashem. We thought all the time, are you serious? Are you taking God to a venture? No,
They thought it was crazy.
better. But remember, those groups of people, everyone brings it, but you have to learn Tanakh to see. Achav is a terrible king. Terrible means terrible king. Every war he went out, he won. And Shaul, it says in the text, suffered
לא
casualty.
מחלוקת.
Says the Gemara, there was no machloket in the time of Achav. The CEO of Achav,
They all obeyed Avodah Zarah.
כולם. The CEO is Obadiah, and Obadiah is hiding 100 prophets.
Yeah.
And they know that Isabel is giving you a prize, and she wants to kill each one of them, and no one, those of the Avodah Zarah didn't go to tell Isabel, no CEO is hiding. And if you learn Sefer Melachim, Shaul, where did Shaul find out what David is hiding? It said 3 times in the text. People, the people
Doeg.
from Doeg is the one that they instigated.
Yeah.
And where is he hiding? Where is he hiding? People came. I forgot the name of the city. They came to him, come.
No,
No,
No, it's the city that they gave
That he was
food
hiding.
to.
Philistine city or something.
Guys, I was thinking that would be
he was hiding.
page
He was
before.
hiding
It
in
says
there.
by Chazek le Paro, and then
He
in
got
the end
the
it says by
sword.
Chazek
No, they
le
fed
Paro, but in
him.
the middle it says by Yahafech le Paro.
What?
So it seems strange. It was strange that I understand. We went through it so many times, but here he said he changed. He changed le Paro.
Even when Paro is changing, but he has to be crazy. As you realize that the water, something is going on with the water. Remember, the change of mind that pushed him to go is crazy, but he's only going. When you see the consequences about to happen, stop now, stop.
The truth is, he
says,
didn't change Paro's mind. He made them do something that looked like they were trapped, so Paro would change
This
his
is
mind.
the
But
point.
Paro changed his mind on his own.
It says by Yahafech.
that's later.
No, but
No,
he said,
Pasuk before. Pasuk before, Paro.
I'm gonna take
Yeah,
them
yeah.
to this place, and he's gonna think they're trapped, and
The first one.
Look a second.
First
Paro
was
did.
Hashem.
Look a second.
The second one is.
Sam, look now in 374, Pasuk Lamed. ויושע השם ביום ההוא את ישראל ביד מצרים, וירא ישראל את מצרים מת על שפת הים. מה זה המשפט הזה? I mean, it said already before that they drowned. וירא ישראל את היד הגדולה אשר עשה השם במצרים, ויראו העם את השם ויאמינו בהשם ובמשה עבדו.
said שעשה השם במצרים, should be למצרים.
אוקיי, יפה. So some say, because of this pasuk, some say that at the same time that the Egyptians are suffering here, something happened in the city also. But the Chafetz Chaim wants to know, what did they see here that they didn't see in the last year? Every month, and to topple it, Makat Bechorot.
You have to read the Haggadah.
This is דברי תורה בהגדה. תשמע, תשמע. Look a second in שירת הים, look carefully. Look at page 376. One description. Look at Pasuk A. One description, Sammy, of those who are drowning now, the Egyptians. תאומות יחסיו, ירדו במצולות כמו, like a stone, good. Then look a second, the next 378, Kakash means like straw.
Oh, the opposite.
The opposite mamash. And then you have a pasuk, צללו כעופרת במים אדומים. How did the Egyptians drown, Sammy? כעופרת is the quickest way. Evan goes down, but not as fast.
What's Oferet?
Oferet is lead.
Land.
Heaviest, has the most mass.
And Kash,
Make up your mind.
says the
Those are for the different levels of the cruelty that they have.
A painful death, a slow, painful death.
Yeah, yeah.
says the Midrash, Vayar Israel et Mitzrayim met. Each one recognized he is a blessing.
Right.
He was a terrible man, he's Kekash. This guy did his job, but not as bad, Kevin. This one was almost good, Ka'oferet.
Oferet is the
Lead.
he drowned
Less
fast.
fast.
Less fast.
Quickest death, right?
If you
Yes, sir.
die,
Shot.
says the Chafetz Chaim, what they realized here is that even when you punish, There is the exact measure that everyone, this is by Yaminu B'Hashem, U'Moshe Avdo.
No, Yaminu B'Hashem is the emphasis.
Then B'Hashem, U'Moshe Avdo, then Moshe is before Rosh Hashanah assembly, we say, why do you listen to 101 kolot? 101. Ashkenazim 100. Says the Yerushalmi, Ishmael is a pellet. Says the Yerushalmi, you know, it says this week's parasha, this week Haftarah. Look a second in the Haftarah. Look at the Haftarah a second, Rani. Look at the Haftarah. The Haftarah is the story of. The Haftarah is the story of Sisera, Dvorah. It's a nice story. It says over there like this. Okay. See, the Ashkenazim this week read the story of Dvorah from the beginning.
Yeah.
The Sfaradim begin only Batasha Dvorah because the Shira Dvorah. Yes.
What page you looking at, Rabbi?
The page is 1153.
After that.
1153.
Oh yes. But the pasuk I'm looking for you is on 1154. Look carefully. ועד החלון נשקפה ותייבא בהם סיסרא. The mother of Sisera is looking out. Madua, my son is a victorious hero.
Why is he delayed?
מדוע is delayed? מדוע איחרו פעמי מרכבותיו? חכמות צרותיה, יהב את פסוק כ"ח.
Oh, the end.
חכמות צרותיה, תעננה, no. Don't worry, there's a lot of woody there. תשמע, says the Midrash, תקשיב טוב, how many tears did she shed? Says the Yerushalmi, 100. Here, the reason why we blow 100 kolot in Rosh Hashanah
is from that, yeah.
Who cares
Wow.
about
Who cares
the
about
mother
her
of
100?
Sisera? No, the Midrash is telling us even a Goya, the mother of every tear is counted. You hear? So someone is counting 58, 78, 99, 100 stuff, which means everything is measured even by a goal. On Rosh Hashanah, it's a message to have, yes? Everything is measured for good or bad, with all the questions that we have. Yes? This is Vayar Israel at Mitzrayim. Suddenly they realized that this fellow who wasn't so bad drowned like a stone. This one, Karferet, this one, Kekar. If you can go through life with this message, many challenges are not bothering us as much. Now, since we're saying it every day, so more or less we know the Pesukim. Look at 378.
378.
378 Pasuk 14-15. Shamu Amid Gazul. When all the nations around Israel heard what happens to the Egyptians, Chil Achaz Yeshua pleasure. As Nibalu, read the English translation, Rani, 14.
14. Peoples heard, they were agitated, terror gripped the dwellers of the Philistia. Then the chieftains of Edom were confounded, trembling gripped the powers of Moab, all the dwellers of Canaan dissolved.
This is very nice. I think tomorrow whoever gets the Aliyah is happy. But in real life in Tanakh, there are two people that we know. One of them is Rachav.
That what? Two people that what?
That this fear lasted and made an impact on him, what we spoke before. It's very good to have a 9/11. It's very good to have Simchat Torah. What did Simchat Torah leave you with? Yes?
No, those guys were afraid of Sichon.
Rachav says to the two spies, everyone heard what happened. We are very frightened. One woman in the city saying, I believe that you have the right to come. And who is the second one? Who is the second one? It said, oh, the second one is Yitro. Yes. Yitro, by Ishma Yitro, which means here the Torah is telling us when 9/11 happened, when 67 happened, when 73 happened, when October happened, the children of the next generation will come every year, October 7th, and so on. In reality, what did he teach you? This is, the Pasuk is describing two Psukim, you read it, Rani.
Rabbi, the Rashi here, the article has a Rashi, very, very enlightening as well.
What?
The article has a Rashi interpretation of these Pesukim. Should I read it? Or no?
Read it,
It says, nations will be unsettled by the coming of the Jews, but for different reasons. The Philistines had massacred the Ephraimites who had left Egypt prematurely on the mistaken notion that the time of redemption had arrived there. Therefore, the Philistines feared that they would be objects of revenge. Edom and Moab, on the other hand, had no reason to fear coming of the Jews since their lands were not part of Eretz Yisrael. In fact, the Jews would later be commanded not to attack them. But their hatred of Israel was so great that they could not tolerate the idea it would come independent of its own land, an attitude that has become all too familiar throughout Jewish history. The Canaanites had reason to melt, for they were about to be displaced. Those who were far away felt I can't read it, but those who were closer were in greater danger and therefore felt terror.
Guys, this is
What else is new?
Wars is and will be, yes? The day the Israelis did it with the phones, I mean, Israelis. שוכחים את זה. The trick in life is take every experience and bring it into your day life. Every time, after Rabbi Rava Shimon, I give us kids באמת for days. Some of them really meant it, they did it. Take upon yourself to do one thing different. Once a week, do a chesed, say, few kids do. By doing that, you preserve his memory. I said Shiva, my mother, he said to my parents about it. So I told him, I remember Ima sitting here every day. I said that he's always a Bekat HaMazon from the city. Let's do the Shiva, let's say Bekat HaMazon. He did. After the Shiva, I said, I'm taking it upon myself. Everywhere where I can, I said Bekat HaMazon from the city.
Nice.
This is 9 years later, and every time I pick up the Siddur.
Rabbi, I didn't hear what you said. You said Birkat Mazon how?
With the Siddur.
From the Siddur. I try as much as I can. Every morning in Flatbush, every Siddur. Subconsciously,
We could be mother.
I remember.
Yeah.
Everything we did for our relatives is amazing. But if you're taking something that you carry it with you, it stays with you. This is the point. This lady Rachab and Yitro heard, move, and make a move. But it's life, it's not there. Look, Shem, it's something new. If you want to say to life, this is good. Look at Pasuk Chav and 3a. ותיקח מרים הנביאה אחות אהרון את הטוב בידה ותצאנה כל הנשים אחריה בתופים ובמחולות. It is never done on you. Here is the place to see. This is the only place to מרים הנביאה. שום דבר, we came out of מצרים, תקשיב טוב, remember, we like Gematria. How did Miriam has a musical instrument? If you look in the Rambam, there's no time. The Rambam says in Tanakh, always Bnei HaNevi'im are always having musical instruments because in order to have inspiration, you need music. She, how come she has the Tupim? How come she has the instruments?
Wow.
She prophesies that they're going to leave.
She is a prophet. And every prophet has to carry with him always musical instruments Because
Be inspired.
when it comes to prophesize, you have to use it. Sammy wants to know.
There's dancers, not.
Yeah,
not
better.
musical instruments.
לא, ותצאנה כל הנשים אחריה.
It looks like the
בתופים.
other ladies had tupim also.
לא, אבל לא כתוב, תקשיב טוב. So I mean, the way the comment would say, בתופים is, you take, ובמחולות, it says clearly, they dance separate. But here, לא, בחולות,
Dancer.
ותן להם מרים,
Echolot is not a circular instrument, the tambourine.
לא,
It sounds like an instrument, but they translate it
I
dancer.
know.
Let the rabbi go.
Yeah.
if you want other places in Tanakh, look a second in the Talmud, look at the Talmud. חינגי, מה זה חינגי? חינגי זה המילה,
In circles?
כן. אני רוצה לחשוב על זה. I remember when David, when is this in when after David killed Goliath, what did the lady say? It says, לא כתוב שם גם כן כזה ראשון ולפעול. I think it says everything the same.
Don't hear.
It's a biblical word of ותר להם מרים, שירו להשם כי גאו גאה, סוס ורוכבו רמה בים. We're looking a second here. Second is Shmuel Aleph Peg with Chedut at one place there. Let's see. After he kills him, here, look at second Samuel Perek Aleph Pasuk with Ched, Shmuel Aleph Peg with Ched. Here, straight Pasuk Vav. Here, read Pasuk Vav. Page 84. Samuel, page 84.
Yeah.
ויהי בבואם ושוב דוד להכות את הפלישתים. ותצאנה אנשים מכל ערי ישראל לשיר והמכונות. והמכונות, זה סם מאוד את זה. אין לשיר לא עולה פה.
אנחנו עשה לומר המכולות בידם.
Oh, it is tambourines.
It's משמע להכיר.
And David.
No, I heard it.
You heard it.
No, I'm saying I remember
No,
growing up.
look, Samuel, look at the Mitzvah. It says exactly like David. והמכונות שם כלי שיר, כמו בתופים ובמכונות. כן, סמל, לא יוצא
שופטים י"א.
Okay, we have to look anyway. יפה מאוד, תודה רבה.
No, but ArtScroll translated it dancing.
Yeah.
In modern Hebrew, of course, מחול is in Israeli, מחול is,
It sounds like an instrument, the way it's used.
no, the way it's written, זה מה שהוא אומר.
Tupim.
לא, דוד, אני שמח שאמרת, תודה רבה. Look a second, that's the end of the parasha, look a second. תקשיב טוב, דבר חדש.
ArtScroll went against Rashi מפורשת.
אני בטוח שזה
There's
נכון.
not a Rashi here.
But never,
Rashi back then.
I know, but still,
זה לא יכול להיות סתם. מסתם יש רד"ק.
ArtScroll going against Rashi?
אבל רק אם יש מחלוקת בין הראשונים.
So is it drums or tambourines? Which one is it?
No.
Oh, we don't know.
Okay, so he says clearly in Sefer Shmuel that it means a
It
type of
doesn't say here that it's a musical instrument.
No, but he
No,
knows
look a
that you read
second.
Shmuel. He knows you
look
read
at
Shmuel.
a second. 392. Look at
He didn't say
392.
anything here, right?
ויאמר השם
390.
Drunk, they might have a drums.
טוב
The
זאת
rabbi.
בספר, this is by Amalek, please listen, it's not written anywhere this way. טוב זאת זיכרון בספר, ושים באוזני, מה זה ושים? Okay, so normally when I talk to you is listen carefully.
Listen carefully.
The Gemara says, תשמע טוב, it says in ספר שמואל, that when Yoav comes back from fighting Edom, כתוב, he killed all the male of הרב, כל זכר, זה בתנ"ך. David says to him, why did you kill only the male? He says, קל וחומר. If by Amalek you have to kill only the male, קל וחומר, David says to him, who told you that
You only kill the males by Amalek.
says, this is the way my rabbi. So he told him, תמחה כל זכר. Not תמחה כל זכר.
Oh,
לא זכר, לא זכר.
That's the
Ah,
Batra 22, and David
wow.
kill his rabbi to kill him. How can you teach like that?
Right.
Says Reb Chaim Ibarosh, וכתוב זאת זיכרון בספר, ושים באוזני יהושע.
he should hear the.
He should hear it. זכר, not זכר.
Wow.
Wow.
The meaning. Because if you're just writing it in the sefer, look what happened to the chief general of the army. He thought it's zachar. Sim
Wow.
action.
Wow.
Shabbat shalom,
Shabbat
everyone.
shalom.
Beautiful.
Wow, Rabbi, beautiful. Thank you, Rabbi.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat
Shabbat shalom.
shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.